Hey, at Bwanjapo, at Shaniapo. Welcome to another edition of On the Table. I'm your host. My name is Chimweka, or simply Chimweka, aka Chile 3. Now, during the course of the week, I received so many calls, messages regarding my interview on That Z podcast. It's up on YouTube. You can check it out. And, well, today I get to return the favor as I host the host of the podcast. And it's going to be another edition of interviewers being interviewed. In fact, here's what you can look out for on today's episode.
Why does this feel like revenge, eh?
Thanks to you guys for making me look like I have so many kids.
Do you
don't?
In your opinion, why do you think Mizukanji is as big as she is?
Just crazy how an episode can go without talking about your maps. Have you guys met ever since the whole 30,000? I mean, you have been in the video. We're in the same video.
They invited both of us.
Yeah. So you also chose not to show up, or you're just busy?
On 2 occasions, I chose not to show up. On 3 occasions, actually.
Interesting show we have ahead, right? Allow me to welcome my guests, K Plus and Uncle Elson. Welcome.
Thank you.
Why does this feel like revenge, eh?
Clearly. Like he was plotting for
I
this.
know, right?
I was like, wait.
Just you wait.
First of all, how annoying does it get when people say the Z podcast and not That Z podcast? I think there's someone here I know who's very particular about it.
We both are.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why you're pointing at me.
Well, it's a brand name, so say it right. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a brand name.
But I get you get that a lot. That Z podcast.
Yeah.
The Z podcast.
Z podcast.
Z podcast.
Yeah. People need to say it right. Say it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That Z podcast. It's that one.
Yeah.
The one that's happening. You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
one.
That
Yes.
one. You know what the interview we did made me realize, and I've gotten this from a lot of guests out there when they come on this show, that Zambians conclude very early. You know, from a teaser, like that's it. That's all people are gonna
Right.
run with. Have guests complained to you guys about that, like when you put out a teaser?
The guests themselves?
Yeah.
No. Famously, we had a teaser that we put out for Abel. Or Abel.
Chongo.
Abel too.
And Simon Mwewa took it out of context, and he sent voice notes saying, I'm never going to watch your show again.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you guys say this? And when he then watched the entire episode, I was like, oh, snap.
I remember that very well.
I played myself.
And it comes on the following day to apologize. Those
Right.
guys are so clever. They're clever with the clickbait. They're so clever.
What did he have a problem with?
The way the promo was chopped up, the way the teaser was chopped up, made it seem like we were insulting Abel Chungu's beliefs. And also...
Because he's also heavy on Christianity.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. So
So-
similar to what we did with yours.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We kind of played with how many children you had.
Yeah.
You then gave context and explanation.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was actually going to be disappointed if you guys didn't. I'm like, yeah, this is good.
Right. You're in TV, you understand this.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But now, sadly, it's not too many people that are like you.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I've come to realize is our audience specifically are very intelligent. So they do understand this. It's those people that just see something and run with it, that don't necessarily follow the podcast, that take it for what it is and say, oh, Kalinga asked Tio why he's gay. And they run with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you have to be smart when you want people to come in and watch. So you kind of have to play around with your teasers a little.
the bits that you pick out for the promo,
Yeah.
the teaser, yeah.
So thanks to you guys for making me look like I have so many kids.
Do you
You
not?
don't?
But here's one experience I believe you guys have gone through where you have guests who want you to cut out certain things from the interview.
What,
Yeah.
our experience?
Yeah, haven't you experienced that before?
Yeah, we have. With I'm trying to count how many guests.
Hey, she sounds like a
We
number.
had a pastor. We had
Yeah, with the pastor who did, but I think, did we? Oh,
Yes, we
we
did.
removed the stuff.
Yes, we did. You forgot what it was.
Was it Pastor Jimmy K?
Yes. Now I can't.
Oh,
Now I can't say what it is that we cut out. now that you guess the name. Because had you not guessed the name, I was going to tell you what
the story was, yeah.
Yeah, what the story was.
Because how many pastors have you guys hosted? This is-
Isaiah Sovi, Prophet.
yeah.
Rev Walter can be considered the same as well. Yeah.
So we've had him, we've had Pilato.
Yeah.
So the interview happened, and then eventually you're getting a call. Please get this part out, and
Yeah, because when you sit like this and you're having a conversation, everything free flows,
Yeah.
right? You eventually don't see the cameras, you don't see the mics, and you get comfortable and you talk. And only after the fact do you say, "Oh crap,
I shouldn't have.
I shouldn't have said that."
And I mean, the episodes where the guests ask for us to cut out too much,
yeah.
and we just forego the whole episode. Just say, you know what, we're not putting this episode out. That's it.
Really?
Like recently, we did that. About 3 weeks ago, we did that.
So you guys did the interview, and they wanted you to cut out like
Yeah,
So many,
cut
yeah.
this out because of national security issue. Not really national security, but it's just a bad reputation.
And we're like, you know what? We're not gonna do it.
Was this like a government official?
No.
no. I'll give you a clue. Somebody living in America right now. And that's all the clue I'm gonna give you.
Living, there's three names that come up here.
One of them is right.
Because there's three names that come up here. There's Alice Rowlands, there's T-Boy, and Sherman. I don't think Sherman has been around in a while.
You're forgetting OC as well.
One of them.
Oh,
Yeah, but one of those. Four you just
but
mentioned.
also the interview aired. So
Well,
unless
no,
you
we
did
could have done a part two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but definitely not. Like, it definitely isn't OC. So it should be either Alice or T-Boy. National security. That should be T-Boy.
Well, not really national security, just something that was going to taint his image with a major government wing. Yeah.
So it was T-Boy.
No, but I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Okay. So in a situation like that, how do you also explain that to, the people who follow the podcast, because they want to see these guests, and now you can air a conversation like that.
We don't.
Yeah, we just go quiet in many cases. Just let it go.
For example, people were asking you guys about the Matthew Mohan episodes.
Yeah. That one is still in the pipeline, still coming up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with your the type of guests you've had a variety, entertainers, you've had politicians there. I want to get some of your favorites. I'll begin with you, Elson. Which conversation did you enjoy the most?
Q Dube.
Apart from mine.
Q Dube.
Yeah, you seem like you enjoyed that one.
Yeah. So I'll say Q. I would say BJ, Henry BJ Peary.
Yeah.
That was a good one as well.
That was
So
mad fun.
you enjoy conversations with
I enjoy people that don't take themselves seriously.
Oh yeah.
If you can make fun of yourself, if you've got a dark sense of humor, I immensely enjoy that. Bro, we've had like over 100 episodes.
Yeah.
So I would have one which is my favorite for 6 months, and then something else pops up. So
Yeah.
right off the top of my head, that's what pops up.
K plus.
Well, he likes comedians. I like storytellers, and one that comes top of mind right now, I think Cleo Ice Queen gave us some good stories, as well as the Z Farmer. What's her name again?
Maria.
Maria had some good stories as well.
Maria
I
was
like
good.
where you ask a guest a question and they tell you a story.
Oh yeah.
You know
And
what
not
I mean?
only that, but they don't hold back.
They don't hold back. They tell you everything. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
enjoy
yeah.
those. So for me, I think those are like top of mind. Who else can I think of? Aqualaskin was good as well.
Yeah.
Still one of my personal favorites, because he I think understood the assignment. He came for a podcast and he gave us a podcast. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
there was no question that was out of bounds for him. Let's go.
You know what
Ask,
was so funny?
I'll give you.
You guys actually scooped me with that episode. So what happened was, we actually recorded something with Aqualaskin, right? And almost everything he said on that interview, he
Right.
said. And then guess what? I go out of town. I'm coming back. This guy here, he lost the footage.
No.
Wow.
He lost the footage.
And this was like a week before ours.
Even like 2 months before yours. This was like him coming out after he had been quiet for a very long time. This was the first interview, and we're like, "This is solid gold. We're gonna air it later." I'm getting back. I'm like, "Guys, let's now prepare the episode."
How's he still here? How come you haven't fired the guy?
This is the same person who put Chule
Chula
one.
Oh, Chula.
Yeah, your days are numbered, bro.
We won't show him for now. This is like the gob of of
Your
all
days are
this.
numbered. But you were friendly to me, so I like you.
Yeah, no, they go way back. They're brothers. And the interviews that you enjoyed the least?
KB.
Muzukanji.
Muzukanji.
Oh, the Muzukanji episode.
Yeah.
I felt like she held back a lot.
Yeah.
She came on the set. I really love Muzukanji and everything she stands for and the kind of person that she is. I really, really love and adore that human being. But I think she came to the episode with... She was very defensive. I think people told her Elsa's going to attack you. Those boys are ruthless and whatever. So she... Even just her body language, when she sat on the set, you could see she was that way the whole time. You know, remember that? Mm-hmm. And the way she was answering the question, just one-word answers. And the most annoying thing happened in that episode. After we record for 40, 50 minutes... Elson and I were going for an hour after that, not knowing that the audio guy was not recording. And after 40 minutes into the episode, she loosened up. She sat up. We started going back to the first questions that we asked her.
Yeah.
And she started opening up and just sharing the stories. And she opened up so much. She started laughing and giggling and whatever.
Uh-huh.
None of that footage made it, bruh.
Don't feel comforted.
So we lost about an hour of that episode, the hour that really made sense, and the hour where she gave Muzukanji.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Martin then realizes he hasn't recorded for an hour. Then he comes back again. He's like, presses record again. And so we have the first 40 minutes and the last 40 minutes, the hour in between. It was a long episode. And we lost really good footage. So what went up now is the parts where she was timid. And now people start attacking us for attacking her because that's all they saw.
Yeah.
The good parts all gone. But
And Ish, messing with Muzukanji fans is what?
oh, that's a
It's
whole
like on
army.
1,000 Ways to Die. Elson, wouldn't you agree?
No.
No fear, no favor.
No.
But you know, it's the funny thing people don't realize about this the work we do, that things just go wrong sometimes. Things happen, and you have to deal with a lot of it.
Yeah.
But how do you also handle the perception that you are the I'm trying to find the TV friendly word here. Anyway,
The derriere.
yes, exactly, perfect. How do you handle that?
It doesn't bother me. I don't care about it. So, how I view this is, I'm really good friends with Kalenga. I've hung out with a lot of the people that we've had on the camera. I might not know them before. Some of those people I've had a relationship with them, beyond that. One thing that I have gotten to realize, not only with the people that we've spoken to, but people in general, is there's very little that I say and do on camera that everybody who's saying the same thing doesn't say or do themselves. The only difference is they're saying, no, but why are you showing it to people? This is something that we're supposed to be doing in corners when nobody's listening or when nobody's watching. There are people that, perfect example, we had the launch of the brothers' mocktails. And we're sitting on set while Gob is struggling, trying to put everything together. And we're having a really honest, raw, unfiltered conversation. And the conversation is going, and the person then goes, oh, snap, are we recording? So we say, no, we are not, but in the next 20 seconds we will be. Literally, when God goes, okay, we are live, those were two different people.
Demeanor changes.
Those were two different people. And then I'm looking at them, I'm like, maybe I need to do that. Where I assume a character. Because that's basically how I can describe that. They got into character. But who they were when the mics were off is worse than the things that I would say.
Was this a media person?
Yes.
Yep.
I was about to get to that. Because K Plus, you come from the media background, the radio background.
Been in for
Do you
15
think
years, yeah.
media training makes us media people like that?
I think so, especially where you feel you really need to guard your brand. So what you put
Yeah.
up on screen and the person you're off screen, totally different people. I think it's a global thing. I mean, I've listened to podcasts done by Trevor Noah as well.
Yeah.
And the episode where he's discussing this with Kevin Hart, Kevin Hart was saying, I really have to be somebody else when I'm in public because I really need to watch my brand at this level I'm at right now in the industry. You know what I mean? So I think even like the person that Elson is talking about, if the public actually got to know the real them, their public perception would change. You know what I mean? So in public, they have to be somebody else. In private, they have to be somebody else to protect their brand. I think it's more about brand protection than anything else. But you want them to be real on and off camera, right?
Oh, yeah, which of course will never happen.
It would damage their characters for most
I just need to
cases.
feel like that, Elson, as well, because
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am. It gets to a point where that also then begins to affect your business. Generally, with my business partners, they really don't care about this, right? They'll giggle, they'll laugh, but they'll begin to get pressure from other stakeholders. Not really anything which is detrimental, but if it gets to a point where it begins to affect my money, then yeah, I might want to tone down a little or become somebody else or become less of something else. Yeah.
So we talked about your favorite conversations and least favorite. Which guest has been the most difficult to get? Like, you had them on, but it was so hard to get them on.
Nobody really. Can you think of anybody?
So everybody's just like, oh, okay, we need you on the show. Okay, cool. Let's do it.
There have been one or two. Remember those episodes where we started to say it's been hard to get you here, blah blah blah. Who? I can't think of anyone right. Let me just look
Maybe it was when K Plus was calling them. Maybe when Nelson makes the calls.
And we've never paid anyone before to come to the podcast.
No.
So we're never gonna pay anyone, honestly.
Yeah, because that also brings it to the Yo Maps issue. Have you guys met ever since the whole 30,000? I mean, you were even in the video. We're in the same video.
They invited both of us.
Yeah. So you also chose not to show up, or you're just busy?
On 2 occasions, I chose not to show up. On 3 occasions, actually. The first is days after the whole debacle of the 30 pin, right?
Yeah.
They begin having issues with their sponsors. So they called and said, "Hey guys, can you say you guys were joking? Because now brands are threatening to drop or something like that." And in my mind, I'm saying, I can't say that we were joking because we weren't. That's what happened, right? And then they said, "Okay, fine. Can we have a live where Yo Maps and you guys go live and you address this?" Against my better judgment, I didn't want to do this. He pulled me into this. But because of my morals, I got onto the live and I didn't say nothing. I kept quiet the entire time.
It was the mannequin in the background.
And then right after that, they said, "Okay, fine. Can we meet up to make peace and whatnot?" And however that conversation went, and he told me about it, and I think it was at their house, right?
Tishon's studio.
And I didn't go. I remained in my house. And so he'll speak on his part on why he chose to do what he did.
Yeah.
And then the last one is then we get the invite to be in the music video. And I called him. I was out of the country then, and when I got back in, I called him. I said, "I'm not going to go there." And he did.
So why did you agree? Was this your way of trying to make peace and convince him to come through?
Yeah, it's just my way of trying to make peace. I mean, our industry is too small to have, in my opinion anyway, to have beefs that, I mean, we're going to be bumping into each other every event, and I don't like the awkwardness of you're in a beef and then you keep meeting at events. You know what I mean? I foresaw that.
For me, it wasn't beef per se, because now it then got
That's
to a
what I'm
point.
saying, in a way, where
Right,
it's
yeah.
just bad blood, there's misunderstandings, and you keep meeting at events. It's just, you be having fun, and then when this person shows up, because there's bad blood between you, you have to start acting a certain way. There's this discomfort.
You know what it is? You know what it is? For me, why I then took the stance that I did, I'm way too small to be on the same level or to be mentioned in the same sentence as Yomaps. He is light years ahead. He's achieved way more, right? The issue that I had is their camp then turned around and made it seem like we were lying. And that's what I had an issue with. You get it?
This was behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, because
but I think they also shared that
they did. I think Kidist had a like a live video with some lady. You watched that, right?
I think I came across something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they then made it seem like we are the ones that were lying, and so now I was like, wait, but what? To be honest, Carling and myself have never done anything like we sit down and say, okay, so let's do this for the numbers.
Yeah.
You know how people manufacture beef?
Yes.
Or you come up with stories to be relevant? We've never done
Some
that.
even thought we did that for our interview.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Until you see the whole thing and you get context and you're like, but two of the kids are not even his.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it was just that my integrity just said, look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be around people that are going to accuse me of being something or someone that I'm not.
But K Plus, do you think your attempt, or I don't know if I can call it an attempt, or whether it was successful, to make peace worked out?
So, let me leave Elson out of this one, right? So between Yomaps and I, there's too many mutual friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And plus
like
you-
Yomaps
you-
management team,
yeah.
those are also my close friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Chabus, there's Muka.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's Switcher on that team.
Switcher,
There's
yeah,
Tivo on that team. I can't remember other names, but yeah, there's all these mutual friends that Yom's hanging around and that I'm hanging around as well. And more often than not, we're going to be found in the same places. And I'm found with Chabu a lot.
Yeah.
We have lunch almost every other day. Switcher a lot. Tivo, we link up. We do work together, DJing, whatever. So
And Steve was the one behind the music
video. Yeah. So, just from my standpoint, I felt I needed to have that peace between Yomaps and I, just for the sake of, especially the guys around, because I mean, like I said, there's so many mutual people between us, and it's just going to be uncomfortable. We link up and Yomaps and I are not talking, or such
Yeah,
situations.
of course. And it makes sense because
Yeah.
look, you are in that space. You are in that industry.
So from my standpoint, that's the reason why I did what I did. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's just crazy how an episode can't go without talking about Yomaps. But
He's that big.
Well, he's a big artist. We have to give him that. And
He's a
much
big
love and
artist.
respect
Yeah,
to
you
Yomaps
can't.
is,
You can't. Who's been your favorite guest?
Oh, is this you trying to interview me now on my show?
This is me being curious who your favorite guest has
squeezing
been.
one question.
Did I answer that question on the podcast? Did I? I didn't answer that. Did
No,
I?
you didn't. Here's your opportunity.
Ish. Ooh, that's very. But I think I did enjoy. I think it's been a number of them. I enjoyed the Chilawan interview.
Right.
I enjoyed the Muzikanji interview as well.
What did you like about the Muzikanji interview?
I actually feel. I think I did a great job with the Muzikanji interview. It was not, of course, the most you'd expect, because, like you said, she was withholding certain things, and you can understand why. But I think we still managed to get some
especially
interesting points from our conversation. I think, and even just the number of people who watched that show, I think really.
And especially
said
that
a lot.
your Muzukanji episode happened after hours. People were now trying to see how she was going to respond to you.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I remember the comments, especially people coming from, yeah, that's a podcast. Those guys really messed up. A good opportunity. Those guys did this. They attacked Muzukanji. We like how Chimweka's handling her and whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, she spoke about. I mean, she revealed things like, well, the other side don't. They only pay for. They had to go to court to get some child support. You know, she was able to open up about things.
But this
like
happens. This happens every single day with exes. Because, in your opinion, why do you think Mizukanji is as big as she is?
that. He's really making this an interview. Well, what makes her? I think her business side.
Her business came after her fame.
Yeah, but you see, that's also a lot for you to be
You don't feel it's
famous,
sympathy?
and you're able to build on from that.
No, but
It
then
takes a lot to
no, I
to
hear
sustain
that,
it.
but the business is like a secondary thing.
Yeah.
So her business was built on the fame. The fame came first.
Mm.
What made her big? What made her famous?
It's no doubt that her having a relationship with your maps and having his child is contributed. I mean, that's no brainer.
But you know what's crazy is I don't think she is the only woman that Yo Maps has been with. So what about her
I think
made
probably
her
because she's the first person to have his child, at least that we know publicly.
Right.
And he was public with her, so that definitely he was very public with her.
right?
So that definitely adds to why.
And
So I hope
also-
you does that make sense?
Yeah,
to you
no,
now?
absolutely. Because we live in a society where people are famous for being famous. You know, like Paris Hilton, the Kardashians.
Kardashians, yeah.
You know what I mean? And you really interrogate that. And look, I've got a fantastic relationship with Musukanji, and it's just one of those things that nothing to do with her specifically, but you sit and you think about this. And I said this when I was speaking to David, that the one thing Kazadi, yes. The one thing that really irks me, and the one thing that if I can change anything, is the amount of time the youth in Zambia especially spend on tabloids, on gossip, on the internet, chasing controversial stuff. If you were to look at people of the same age in a different country and what they've managed to achieve with the same resources, you've got the same cell phone, you've got the same data, you've got... I heard of a story, and I know I'm about to sort of butcher this, where I think it was a private company that went to a certain village in India and just gave them internet, and they went away for years, and they then came back after like 10 years or so to the same village, and they noticed that a bulk of the tools that are being used in the world today came from that village.
So they're being productive during that time.
They had internet. It is how they used it. Is my point.
Yeah.
They could have gone to Pornhub.
Yeah.
They could
Or
have
just been on social media,
been on
posting
Facebook,
their meals.
Creating gossip and
creating gossip, or done research on how to make their lives better. And these are the same people, sorry to go off on a tangent, these are the same people then whom, when there's no electricity or when there's no service delivery, they're now looking at the government like, what are you people doing? But we have all these resources that we can harness. I've given countless of examples of the things that are available that people can use. So the comment that you made where you said if you speak ill about Muzukanji, that the hive will come at you, I feel like that same aggression that you are using to defend somebody who you will never meet or who doesn't know your name, use that same aggression to make something for yourself. So I've said this, and I get into zones where it really bothers me that people become part of a disciplinary committee, and that's what they are known for on the internet.
maybe it's just people trying to they feel so strongly about people that they adore or feel they relate to, but getting off the point of her being known, obviously because she was with Yo Maps. It's happened to so many celebrities. Marky Two's wife can say the same thing. There's a number of artists we can say that about. But with that said, K Plus, I know you've been very, very private about your marriage and so on.
Right.
Would you at any point be comfortable with people knowing who your wife is? Like publicly?
I don't think it's about him. I think it's about his wife.
Yeah, my wife is a very private person. I think the last time she ever posted on her Facebook was probably after the wedding day or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's mostly
very-
you and not her?
Yeah, I think-
No, it's her, not him.
Yeah, so I think there's also that. Let's just have a situation where only one of us is out there making noise and you're on social media and whatever. She I don't think she's ever posted herself on her WhatsApp status as well. So when she's selling baby clothes and she'll put stuff there. That's the only time you ever see that green circle around her profile, you know what I mean, on WhatsApp when she's selling baby stuff. I've never seen her on that thing as well, eh? And I can't remember the last time she ever posted herself on Facebook either. It's like I said, it's probably like from our wedding day in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a very private person.
And you feel it works better that way?
It works better for us. Well, if you can make it work, make it work. We've made it work that way because people don't want to attack what they don't know. You know what I mean? So
True.
our marriage is a private affair. So
Yeah.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this was a podcast, we'd have gone on and on, but we'll take a break because it's TV. But after the break, we're
we
still
got
hanging
breaks.
out with with K Plus and Uncle Elson. We'll be right back. And here's what you can look out for coming up next. So do you think you do all these things, the 99 jobs, to compensate for dropping out of school? And you feel like you need to work harder, extra harder?
I don't really want to go back to school because there's certain things I'm against when it comes to school.
Welcome back. Still watching On the Table. My guests are K Plus and Uncle Elson from That Z podcast.
Award-winning.
That Z podcast. So with the awards, I know you were listed in the top 30, the Africa top 30 with Trace and Johnny
Most
Walker.
influential.
Most influential. Are there others that maybe I didn't come across?
APVA Lifestyle and Entertainment Podcast of the Year. African
In
podcasters
Nigeria.
and voice artists.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
The podcast is doing the most, huh?
And I'm not still sure if we won the Zikoma Award. Do you know yet?
Oh no, we lost it to a guy in Namibia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That's great, the recognition. By the way, speaking of, Africa, are you Zimbabwean, Elson?
Mm-hmm.
So how did you find yourself in Zambia?
I flew.
What made you come to Zambia?
My passport.
Money. Don't be silly.
And you came to Zambia and I mean, you could have been still in Zimbabwe, right?
No.
Why not?
Because I was living in Belgium.
Oh, okay. So Zimbabwe, Belgium, Zambia.
No. Zimbabwe, South Africa, Belgium.
Okay, so explain to us the movements here. And settling in Zambia.
I like the people.
That's it.
That's it.
The female ones, I presume,
No.
mostly?
People. Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Male and female.
Okay. And
Everybody.
And the money?
Fantastic.
The money is fantastic.
I've made the most here than I have in Belgium or South Africa. Actually, I lie. Yeah, between here and Belgium.
And Zimbabwe, have you made money from there?
Yeah.
But not as much as
My family's not there.
Your family's not there. So where's your family?
Australia, London, and South Africa.
Okay. Does this also include your? Because I know you've got a child.
Yes.
So where in what country?
South Africa.
Yeah, international.
Is in SA now?
Yes, he is.
When did he move in?
A year and a half ago.
Okay.
So that explains why you also travel a lot. So you've got like family to go see, and of course the work that you do outside the podcast, and also to understand more. What does your business involve? What does your work involve outside the podcast?
I've got 3 businesses.
Yeah.
The first is software development. So we create software for banks. We have created software for stuff under the Ministry of Transport. I'm careful not to mention the actual companies. We have created something under, that I won't mention because it's too direct. So yeah, software development. And the second is fintech. We help fintech companies run their operations. The third it's called Cyrex. We are into architecture. We do interior design, interior implementation. Yeah. So in a nutshell, that's it.
Okay.
And a condom brand coming called Carex.
Is it Carex or Carex?
Carex.
I've always
Like
mispronounced it.
K with an X at the end.
That's
the
why
word
that's
care.
why, that's why I've always called it Carex.
Yeah.
Carex, potato, I guess.
Would you love to have another child here in Zambia?
No.
Would you love to have a child at all?
Yes, 2 more.
2 more,
Yeah.
but just not in Zambia.
If it happens in Zambia, then cool.
But it's not part of like your plan or intention. Is there a reason why?
No. I feel like the more that you travel, the more that you realize how the world is an extremely small place. You realize that the world it's small, but it's big at the same time. It's larger than just the tribes that you know, the people that you see around you. So you are open to more options. You tolerate less BS around you because there's a lot more that you're exposed to. And so who's to say that if you want, look, the world's your oyster, and that's how my parents raised me. Who's to say that tomorrow, if you wanted, you cannot leave and start a new life in Berlin or in Amsterdam or in Cape Town? It's just basically about how you look at your own life, what you want, the quality of life that you want, and how quickly you can adapt from environment to environment. So before I tie myself down to one particular place,
And person.
that too, I would love to travel. That way, once I do make the decision to settle down, I don't believe in divorce. I don't believe in side chicks. I don't believe in cheating. It's
I agree with you on that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would have done everything that I want to do to that point, so I'm not curious about anything anymore.
And how did the two of you meet? How did you come across each other? K plus.
Ladies first.
I get a call one day from, what is he? CEO?
No, the MD.
The managing director of Mobile Money, Komba Malukutila.
MTN, yeah.
MTN, yeah. Momo.
Momo, yeah.
So he calls one day, and I remember exactly where I was, Kalingalinga, driving down, and he calls and says, K plus, how you doing? Well, okay, cool. There's a guy you should meet. I'm like, okay, what does he do? No, just meet him, have a chat, let's see where that goes. Little did I know he had called Elson saying the same thing. And how many days after did the meeting happen?
I called you on the same day.
The same day after Komba called
Yeah,
both of us,
but I think we met 2-3 days after that.
The first meeting was from East Park, or was it the food market?
It was the food market.
The food market, yeah, but we couldn't talk loud music and whatever. And
The one at Manda Hill?
no, it was a Pamosi Hotel.
Pamosi, oh, okay.
Yeah, the garden down Pamosi Hotel there. So we link up there, loud music. We couldn't really talk, so we said let's link up Saturday, East Park Mall, and we met for breakfast. That was like a day or two after, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. So we sit down to trying to figure out why Komba wanted
Which
us to
is
meet.
now Miller's. It was Mug and Bean then.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure out why Komba wanted us to meet. We have this chat for 1 hour trying to figure out, you're in fintech, I'm in radio, I'm in this and this and this. And there was no intersection. Like, we couldn't figure out what we had in common. And I was like, oh, well, cool, I'll see you later, blah, blah, blah. I think it was like a week or two later where he called me and said, oh, crap, you do a podcast.
You had not started then.
No, I do that like 2 episodes then.
So let me tell you how I remembered it.
Yeah.
So Komba calls me and he says, I'm gonna introduce you to 3 people. One of the people owns a radio station in the province in which you've got businesses. So you might want to advertise on his radio station. The other 2 people were bankers. Coincidentally, I ended up dating one of those people. You know who that is?
Yeah.
One of the bankers.
One of the bankers.
Same food market person, yeah?
Same food market person.
Right, okay.
So I meet with him with the view that, okay, I want to market this, but we have that conversation for all of 10 minutes, and the rest of the breakfast, we're talking about just chopping it up. So we speak about podcasting, and we speak about how the landscape radio is dying, and creating a platform where people are able to come in and be themselves, speak about what they want, right? And he says, no, I'm actually thinking of starting one.
Hadn't started then.
No. I'm actually thinking of starting one because I still have the texts of what we spoke about then.
Serious?
Yeah. I'm actually thinking of starting one.
It sounds like, like a couple, when you ask a couple, like, how did you meet?
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, no, I streamed the message. Who said I love you first? It's right here.
So, yeah, so we spoke about that, and we didn't know exactly how that was going to work or how it is going to look.
I think then I probably had like 2 or 3 episodes recorded.
Yeah, because
yes.
Yeah.
That had happened, but it had not aired. Because I remember the first one that aired. So yes.
Oh, you called after the first one went up.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then we then met. So when we met, the first one that went up had not been recorded yet. So when that one then went up, then I said, okay, fine. I see what the idea is and how we can then work together. So we sat down, we spoke about it. We went to Pakra, we made the registration, and we formed the partnership.
Yeah, because what I was going to ask just a few seconds ago is, I mean, some people would wonder like how the connection got together. You have the media background, he has the corporate business background, and one would think so. K Plus, you got Elson on board because he had the money to finance this.
I see those comments a lot. Like, I think one of the most recent ones was, I think there's an episode where, what did I do or say again? And somebody said something to the effect of, I'm not really expressing myself because I'm trying to not piss Elson off as a person who funds the podcast.
I don't know where people get that idea. But when this thing started, we paid. Who did we have then?
We had a whole team, bruh.
But we paid them out of our pockets.
Yeah. And it was 50-50 expenditure.
Because you're working with, is it Coin at some point?
No.
That was not even with Coin at the time. Oh, okay.
It's
We used
out of pocket, bro.
We used, and I remember those days. We used Izu Studios at some point.
Then we started with Lloyd. I think like the first 10 episodes were Lloyd.
Yes.
And then we figured, dude was spending a little too much for something that's not making any money. Let's trim down. We fired a few people. We thought we needed script writers and producers and
we had a whole team,
production people. We had a whole team, maybe 10 people behind the scenes.
We had the producer.
We had somebody running around to find venues, somebody running around to call guests and whatever. It was a whole team.
Until we realized that what everybody's doing, him and I can do it.
Yeah.
So we trimmed down and everybody had to go. Yeah.
So people
and I remember
lost their jobs in the process.
And I hope I'm not tripping, but I remember having a conversation. I'm not quite sure with what team it was when you and I then decided to go 50-50. Where, and I hope I'm not remembering this wrong, where we offered them shares, and then they said no, we would rather be on a salary, just pay us this much.
I remember such a conversation. I can't really remember who it was with, but yeah.
I forgot, but one of the teams said, no, listen, we'll give you a chunk of this, so we don't have the cost of paying you guys for every single episode. And they turned us down. They said, no, pay us this month every month. So I said, no, that's cool. Yeah. We'll pay that.
I mean, that's a lot of people in this space. They weren't there.
Yeah.
So the expenditure, dude, for the longest time, I think we started making a bit of money maybe after like 40-50 episodes, yeah?
And I remember when the first sponsor that we had, Wild Dog. The guy's got a gorgeous wife, though.
Focus.
We went in and we didn't realize how much we wanted.
We just knew we needed a
But
sponsor.
did you get a good deal out of it?
Small deal, but we really appreciate the fact that he
took the first step.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was your first sponsor.
That was the first sponsor.
much, yeah.
And to
Well
this
done.
day, I've got a soft spot for that man. I met him at food markets.
Yeah.
He has this really old school Land Rover.
Yeah.
I think I want. Is it branded?
Yeah, Wild Dog.
Yes, I watched him on
And-
the road. I'm like, oh,
And no matter what huge milestone we get to, he's the first to comment. Remember when the Big Tree thing? He was the first to comment. Like, I'm glad with the journey you guys have been on and where you've been, where you are now. And Velton, much love and respect to Velton. Man.
he believed. So now the podcast is profitable.
We are. We're happy. We're happy. We've had sponsors that have come on board. We've said no to a couple of sponsors. We have
Really, why?
So the direction that we were trying to take now is to not have sponsors who come in and say, "Oh, can we get 2 episodes?"
Yeah.
Oh, you want something like long
Long-term,
term?
something long-term.
Yeah, that works better.
Yeah.
I guess.
So-
Or, okay, we can do a 6-month contract, but let's see how the first 2 episodes go. Then we see how we feel after that. Like,
No.
you know where the podcast has come
Yeah,
from. You know what numbers we have. You know who's watching. I mean, the numbers don't lie on YouTube. There's analytics there that you can just click and download. We've shown you this. So what do you want to try on for 2 episodes first? You know what I mean? Now,
People
let's just
always
see
bargain.
if...
Yeah.
And then again, you can't have response in just 2 episodes. Brands like Coca-Cola, dude, have been around for over 100 and what years now.
Yeah.
And they're still marketing. So you're going to market it out for
Advertising,
2 weeks and
no.
expect change?
No, advertising doesn't.
It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. You really can. When we tell that to clients sometimes, like, oh, just a once-off.
Let's just see if people
No,
respond.
no way.
Ah, come on, man.
But for you, K Plus, with the podcast and where it's become altogether, one thing that you have also been very passionate about is you've also ventured into your other side, whether it's DJing.
Yeah.
I know you're very passionate about that. How I know you asked this question to me, but how are you managing to juggle all this?
And I'm so blessed, man. Like, I was even thanking God this morning. Like, I'm so happy how none of these programs clash, eh?
Yeah, really, they don't.
They don't. Like, this morning I was acting in Zuba. That didn't clash with anything that, like, a podcast guest wanting to come on at the same time.
Yeah.
Or a gig that I need to go DJ at the same time. It's just... Monday, yes, we did 2 episodes yesterday of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today, I'll be acting in Zuba. In the afternoon, I'm with you. Tomorrow morning, next week I'll be DJing, and everything aligns. And I really thank God for the direction my life is taking, bro.
So do you think you do all these things, the 99 jobs, to compensate for dropping out of school? And you feel like you need to work harder, extra harder?
There's that as well. And I think I've shared my life story on quite a number of TV shows. Sometimes, and it's only recently that I've started playing to win. In the past few years, I've been playing not to lose. Working just not to get back into poverty. You know what I mean? Now I've got goals like, okay, the podcast, also that I do, let's take the podcast this direction. Even if this and these people don't pay, let's still just focus on what we want for the podcast. The radio station is to go this direction. And I was really encouraged by Elson the other day talking about how he's not chewing money from his business because he wants to take it to another level. I've sort of been thinking in the same direction as well. Like, okay, now it's about growth. Now it's about scaling. So I'm working with a different mindset right now. It's
Yeah.
not just about, because I'm a college dropout, I've got plans. I'm planning better now with this different mindset I have.
Speaking of plans, do you have plans to get back to school after dropping out?
Yeah, I do. Funny, my mom is visiting this week and we're talking about it just last night. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, who brought the subject up? Was it you or was it her?
I brought it up.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's
because
her
I got a
thinking?
call from one of the big universities. I will not mention which one just yet and what offer they made me. But I got a interesting offer.
An
to-
honorary?
No. I'm gonna study, bro.
Dr. K Plus.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, that would be dope, though. Not that I would use the title. I don't
think-
like people use the honorary doctorates, man.
I think it's Morehan's University.
No, it's not. It's a Lusaka University, bro. I said Lusaka. One is University of Kabul.
Of Kabwe, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't get the Lusaka part.
So
Yeah.
this school wants to give you an offer to get back to school.
That, and it's going to be a lot of traveling. I got excited about that. Like, globally, while doing this.
Is it a Zambian university or
Yeah,
it's
it is.
one of those?
No, very Zambian university.
Are you going to be studying there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've tailored something because I said, look, I don't really want to go back to school because there's certain things I'm against when it comes to school. And that's why I dropped out. There's certain things that universities don't teach you, which I apply in my life right now from other books that I've read. Have you read that book, What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School?
I heard about it. I haven't read
That
it.
book is deep with stuff that universities leave out, deliberately in most cases. But anyway, I'm still going back to school to learn what I missed out on when I dropped out. And I'm going to marry the two now. What they don't teach in university plus what they teach. And I think I'm going to be a formidable force after that.
Kalinga, with the stuff that you've just said that you, like, without misquoting you, you had said you didn't want to go back to school because there's things that you don't agree with.
There's certain things I didn't agree with, yeah.
But don't you think that it is a cop-out? Don't you think it would make a bigger statement to say, okay, I'll give you a different analogy. I'm not going to climb Mount Everest because I don't agree with certain things. Don't you think it will make a bigger statement for you to climb it? And when you're at the top,
then
make that comment to say, I have achieved it.
That's
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound like you're making excuses.
no.
That's,
and I think with
that's
every
a good question, actually.
I think
Thank you, Elson,
with
for doing my job.
every interview where I'm asked the same question, there's always something I either add or subtract because there's so many elements that made me drop out of university. You know what I mean? What I just gave is one of the reasons why. You know what I mean? There's so many things. I was forced into a business degree that I didn't want to do. I wanted to be in media, but people would tell you, not this, blah, blah, blah. There's so many reasons, and I know you've got your director's telling you 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
I don't want to delve into.
Time is probably even up now. Yeah.
Exactly, you know what I mean. But there's so many. I was frustrated doing a course I didn't like. I didn't like what they were teaching me. I thought I had learned more from other business books that I had read before university. There's so many elements that built up to that decision. You know what I mean?
Okay. As we close off this conversation, what plans do you guys have for That's It podcast, especially for
do we want to put this out in the public just yet? No.
No. But they are big. There's big plans.
Watch the space, bro.
I saw Soap and Duka give a shout out.
Yeah.
You know, I do follow podcasting shows, so that was really dope.
Real recognize real, right?
Yeah. Is he coming through for an interview? Is he going to be on the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Him amongst plenty other big names.
From across the continent.
Yeah.
Okay, that's dope. K Plus, Uncle Elson, thanks a lot for coming through.
Which one's my camera? For the last 3 episodes, I've been begging for 2 things. Number 1, if there's anyone who wants to give me a free invent,
Dude, this one doesn't podcast. Let's go.
please give me one. 2, I'm running a business which spans the entire southern province from Mazabuka all the way to Kazungula. I am looking for 6 people that work in the fintech space. Give me a call.
I'm looking at this guy, thinking, I'm going to drop this off. Chimweka, sign off, man.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming through. Thanks a lot for watching today's episode of On the Table. Next week, I host Mbayachi, and there's a lot you can look out for. Bye-bye.